Definitely an interesting change of pace to be the hunted instead of the hunter. Still, I'd like to be able to get back to being able to kill our enemies instead of having to run away every time they show up. I'm just glad that this is the only game I know of in the series that downgrades our abilities by quite so much. Though I suppose a later game in the series might try something similar as a callback and interesting shift of mentalities partway through, but if so, I've never played it yet. Normally, I don't actually give a damn about how tall Samus is, especially considering the scales of the normal enemies and even the bosses we deal with. But her gear isn't exactly meant to let her get from point A to point B without being noticed. She's more used to being the predator than the prey, after all, and I'm pretty sure that this basic equipment would normally be more than enough for her day-to-day bounty hunting, not this shit. Right. Of course we have blocks that can't be destroyed without certain upgrades now that we've gone from the mothership to the Chozo ruins. Hopefully we'll gain the bloody Chozo suit again soon. Bloody hell, really getting sick of having to run away around here. Right. Of course a way forward isn't available if the alarm's going off, and there's no convenient hiding place that I can see here. I could potentially start ranting about the fact that there was no way to react to that guy dropping from above us, or the fact that we've gone through this short segment of events a number of times already. And I just double-check the raw footage, see that there's less than an hour and a half left, even if I don't take into account random moments of me fast-forwarding, and I just go, not much further left to go. As a side note, I can't help chuckling at the fact that if one of those spotlights so much as grazes by our hair or a toe, it'll set off alarms that bring the enemy swarming. But shooting at the damn things doesn't have any effect at all. Why in the hell did I even try that when I already confirmed that it won't work in this very clip? Well, at least we're making progress, even if it isn't in the smoothest way possible. Of course I'm going to save. It's pretty much our only way to heal when we have no real form of offense here, and we're dealing with an absurd number of enemies. Is that image depicting some ancient war the Chozo had with themselves in the past or something? Okay, so that bit of background got a lot of focus for some reason. So the shift to black and white is to show that Samus has been here before when she was a kid? She certainly looks cute that age, that's for sure. You know, Oddly enough, the fade to Samus's adult face bothers me a little for some reason. Specifically, for some reason, I get the impression that adult Samus, who's supposed to be all business, is wearing lipstick for some odd reason, though that might just be the art style. We don't see a close-up to the face that often, so it's not that big of an issue overall in the whole game, but still, it strikes me as a bit odd. Speaking of odd, time for us to start going through the only boss fight in this series so far that has us fight without the Chozo suit at all. We're only allowed to shoot that orb the Chozo statue thing is holding when it flashes white. If we shoot it while Samus's image is on the thing, we just hurt ourselves. The times when it's vulnerable to us are kinda random. And so are the points when the bits of lightning come out to strike us. It's not an impossible fight, but it's one of those really annoying things that throws you off. And it's in a section of the game where you're already thrown off. Or at least it throws me further off. Much like Mother Brain, it feels more like luck rather than skill that lets me get through any particular run of it. And when playing on easy, I don't have to actually give enough of a damn about how annoying it is to actually improve as we deal with it. Again, I kinda wish that there was a mode between normal and easy for such things that feel too hard on one difficulty, but too simplistic on the other. But it makes a lot of sense that this game wasn't tailor-made with my various experiences with games in mind, since it's an improved remake of something made back on the old NES system. Okay, seems I either got luckier with this run of the fight, or I just deleted all the failed attempts on this same fight, because it was getting ridiculous and it's less of a pain in the ass to remove such footage when recording from an emulator than an actual gaming system. Great, even in the luckier run, I damn near died. At least I didn't get frustrated enough to outright use the invincibility cheat again. I suppose that's something. Ah, Chozo Suit, how I missed you. And apparently the things we grabbed earlier in the game are unlocking as even more powerful upgrades that will help make the pirates we were running away from into, well, cannon fodder. And now we get the bloody gravity suit. Sure, that's motivation to return to the areas that were blocked off by lava and such, but it just feels so infuriating to know we actually did have that special upgrade when we were fighting Mother Brain, but the game decided not to activate us for some reason just yet. They outright knew that the only reason that fight was dangerous was because of the environment, not the hostile fire all around us. And apparently the ability to jump multiple times is its own upgrade in this game, not something that comes with the screw attack like I had assumed. The power beam doesn't look any different from before, despite the fact that we gained plasma on top of everything else. Given everything else we've gained so far, I was kind of expecting the ice beam to be completely replaced visually, at the very least. Especially since we don't have to worry about any more Metroids on this planet, or using creatures as platforms anymore. Hold on, apparently it took me a while to figure out how to jump out of this hole when we just gained the means to do so. Kind of undercuts the fact that the music decided to play the main theme in celebration of regaining the suit now, doesn't it? Sorry about that. I'm so close to figuring it out now, but not quite there yet, and it's actually kind of funny. There we go. Hello, boys! The Huntress is back and her power beam is near instant death for you bastards. Yeah, let's just say for now that we've regained the suit and upgraded it at the exact same time. Now, if only I can think of some in-universe reason for the hyper-advanced Chozo suit to keep finding ways to become less effective at the start of each game, now that we're pretty close to as powerful as I'm gonna get in this particular installment. Again, I know why it happens from a gameplay perspective. Exploring areas and gaining upgrades is part of how the player makes progress in this style of game. And if we had everything we did at the end of a previous game, then it'd be tougher for the game designers to come up with obstacles. Those powers would need something extra to get around. An underwater speed boost challenge. At least we managed to find this just moments after gaining the gravity suit. That would have been very annoying otherwise. For some reason I thought we could go up from inside the wall. My mistake. Pretty sure at this point that Samus can essentially fly. Pretty awesome, but still. Doesn't matter how well you fly if you don't know how to land. Then, okay. Samus always lands on her feet like a heavily armored cat, but when working with me, she has all the precision of a World War II-era unguided bomb. Really wish I knew what was with the picture of the guys with spears and the skulls between them all. Okay, why didn't I try using the screw attack earlier here? Especially since I've been doing it so often ever since we got it. Did I just temporarily forget what that icon is destroyed by? Yeah. Sorry, boys. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Of course, when it's time for us to leave the planet and end the game, these guys are gonna be back to doing everything in their power to try to stop us. Because I think this is the only game in the series that gives us 2 timed escapes in the exact same game. Okay, not sure what the point of that is. Oh, sorry for anyone who feels spoiled by the fact that I mentioned there's gonna be another escape section in this game. It's just... yeah, there's not too much left in this game, and it's not like it has too much of a story. Oh, I can't even begin to describe how good it feels to be able to go into the lava without being in any way injured. That has literally been my most dangerous enemy for the longest period of time in this game. I mean, sure, outside of the battle against Mother Brain, it hasn't outright killed us, but even if you don't take into account that particular mess of a fight, you can still say lava has done more accumulated damage over the course of the game than anything else. Though I'm not too sure if I remember if this game measures just how much damage we take in a given playthrough. Yeah, killing everything in this shaft is little more than just catharsis. You know, stepping back a bit, I'm not liking how few healing items these guys are dropping as we kill them. Hell, I don't think they're dropping any items at all. Sure, we heal with save points now, but we didn't get to this point in the game with a lot of energy tanks, really. And now I'm slightly tempted to just post the smooth, easy run of this game, just for the sake of showing while this run wasn't exactly the most pleasant. There's a reason I had a lot more fun commenting on the disaster where I had to cheat than the run where I had little to no trouble at all. Really? One from behind us? Kind of a bitch move. Again, I'm pretty fragile at this point considering what we're supposed to deal with before we're done here. And again, we're pretty close to the end of the game. There's just one boss left. Then we go through the second and actual final escape sequence, even though the previous escape sequence after Mother Brain certainly felt like it should have been when the credits rolled. Can't really be too pissed at the game designers for deciding to throw in the extra content after Mother Brain though, since this is a remake of an old game, and if anything, I typically prefer when new iterations add their own spin to things while still being pretty respectful to the original. For example, I always hated Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green for adding so little to what that first generation of Pokemon gave us. And to make matters worse, they made things simpler for the player. And this is simpler to the point where you get several more tutorials than you would have gotten back in the original. And if you choose Charmander, you get a super effective move against rocks by the time you get to the Rock Gym. The first real challenge, if you make that particular choice in the original. While I wouldn't put Metroid Zero Mission on the same level as the remake of the original Resident Evil, it's certainly a step in the right direction. And both the Resident Evil remake and this game did a great job of making you wonder why you would even bother with the originals ever again after playing the remakes. Great. Now I'm tempting myself to get to work on the first generation of Pokemon and the first Resident Evil at some point. But I'm in no way tempted to ever touch the remakes of the Pokemon games if I can help it. At least, not the first generation games. I'd say there's enough catharsis of us killing enemies we had to hide from with ease. Even if it's a little funny that a few of them are outright hiding in spots we used to hide in. Since we've already gone through a lot of this ground before, time to fast forward again. Kind of wish we had a better idea of where to go from here. Mostly because I think we've gone through most, if not all, of the game's best points. I've kind of exhausted my complaints and praises for the game at this point. Hence, why, if, and when I... Hold on. Okay, so the black pirates can take more of a beating than the red ones. Nice to know, and a little worrying considering none of the pirates drop any health items when we kill them in this game. At least the floating poles drop something when they die. I know, technically speaking, the pirates can get away with this sort of thing in this game since they are the endgame enemies that pop up after we've already finished off everything that had been in the original. And I also know that technically speaking, we could go to all the areas we went to before our ship got shot down in order to grab any and all upgrades we may have missed. Even if the cutscene implied that entire section of the planet no longer exists. Doesn't quite stop it from not feeling right to me, though. And I'm not even 100% why it doesn't feel right to me, other than I'm way too used to more narrative-based games. you've gotta be kidding me. Anyone else find it strange that I'm having a harder time breaking those blocks when we have the much more powerful gravity suit with a plasma beam, bombs, and rockets than when we had the pathetic stun pistol? And apparently those guys in those garbage cans are invincible, but can be pushed back by enough fire. Little odd, but I've seen crazier around here. Should I laugh or groan at that unexpected drop? Okay, that takes care of that upgrade, but we need something else entirely to open the next door. Yeah, should have grabbed that the first time we got up here. Okay, that black pirate was certainly more willing to shoot at us than the first one. And I'm not liking how much damage he managed to do before he died. Anyway, time to save and call it a day for now.